2:37 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net.
Coming to you from inside the Nanhai Gymnasium here in Foshan, China, we bring you the action here in the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. It is a Battle of Macau Part 2 between the Macau Black Bears, their first home game of the season, going up against the Macau Wolf Warriors in a very opposite situation. This is going to be their first road game on the other side of the season for the visiting Wolf Warriors. You guys are joined by Martin Javier working alongside Christian Luanzon tonight here in the coverage. Welcome to the coverage here, Christian. This should be an exciting one.
It should be, especially for the two teams who represent this country, the Black Bears and the Wolf Warriors. Obviously, both teams led by, two new coaches for their squad. Coach Todd Burbs for the Wolf Warriors, a veteran coach in this league, a champion himself under Indonesia.
That's right.
And for the Black Bears, we have Coach Charles Hantumakos. He was a head coach of the Athlete Institute Academy in Mono, Ontario, and had managing experience also for Canada Basketball.
That's right. This is his first head coaching stint in a professional level. And Coach Charles Santomacos leading the Macau Black Bears in their first 6 games, splitting their first 6 games on the road at 3-3 right now. The Wolf Warriors were introduced earlier, and now let's go to the Macau Black Bears. Later on, we'll proceed with our pre-game discussion. Welcome back to the coverage here in your ASEAN Basketball League. Once again, we are coming to you from inside the Nanhai Gymnasium here in Foshan, China. The Black Bears and the Wolf Warriors, two neighbor teams battling it out here inside Nanhai Gymnasium on a Thursday evening in a very chilly Foshan, China. You guys are still joined by Martin Javier alongside Christian Luanzon here in the coverage. And again, it is between the 3-3 Macau Black Bears splitting their first 6 games on the road, going up against the 1-3 Wolf Warriors of Macau. This, well, earlier we had the initial discussion about, the important personnel of these teams, but both of these teams coming off different situations. The Black Bears coming off a loss against the Formosa Dreamers. Wolf Warriors, on the other hand, with a statement win against one of the top teams in the league, that is the Taipei Fubon Braves.
And that was their first win. Talking about the Macau Wolf Warriors, could not have come at a better time, because prior to that game, the Dreamers were only had 1 loss.
Yeah.
And then they came up big in that game, obviously, for the first win of the season, the first win of Coach Todd representing this team for the Wolf Warriors. But you're looking at this game as sort of like a revenge game for them, as they, bowed down the first game they played each other back in November 26, I believe, 23 rather. So there will definitely be adjustments, especially coming from that first meeting.
That's right. It was 117-100, the final score of their first encounter of the season, and that was held in the home court of the Macau Wolf Warriors. That was the season opener for the Wolf Warriors. Black Bears, on the other hand, that was their second game of the season, and they were, well, the Black Bears caught fire in that second period, and they ended up nailing 17 3-pointers on their way to getting their first win of the season.
And those 3-pointers, turned out to be the biggest difference of that game. 17 compared to the 6 of 22 shooting by the Warriors for 27% compared to the Bears, 39%. Because if you look at the other numbers, Martin, points in the paint were dominated by the Warriors. They were plus 16 on that stat. They had the edge on the board by just a shade, 43-42. Turnovers also was a story, as the Warriors turned the ball over 16 times compared to 9 times by the Bears. That's translated into 28 points out of the 9 and only 12 out of the 16 of the Warriors.
That's right. And the Wolf Warriors, well, at least in their previous game, they had a major change in the lineup by adding Scotty Ewing, Hong Kong native, now playing for the Wolf Warriors, and that allows Tsai Chen to come off the bench for the green shirts. Also tonight, they're going with the same lineup here to start the ball game. On the other side, for the Macau Black Bears, consistency has been key, especially with their unit. It's not a deep lineup, Christian, but the starters, the imports, get it done for the white shirts.
Right, and allow me to correct myself, Martin, earlier. The first win of the Macau Wolf Warriors was against the Taipei Fubon Braves.
Yeah, the Fubon Braves.
Not the Formosa Dreamers. But going back to your point, you're looking at the rotation of these teams, pretty much similar. Not so deep. They play about 6 to 7 players of significant minutes.
That's
and
right.
when I say significant, at least 20 minutes, maybe 18 to 20 minutes per game. In the last game alone for the Black Bears rather, 8 players played, but only 6 players played at least 17 minutes and up. 4 players played almost the whole game, 39 minutes and above. Similar for the Macau Wolf Warriors, who played only 7 players, with about 3 players played at least 34 minutes above.
Yeah, both teams top heavy. That's going to be the matchup here. And a change here, another change in the starting unit for Coach Todd Purvis. It is number 25 starting for Crescento here. So he is going with Herring, Scotty Ewing, Stephen Thomas, Julian Boyd, and who at the starting unit on the other side. The Black Bears going with Warren Liang, Brandon Edwards, Mike McKinney, Kenny Manigault. And ball is up, game is underway. Jenning Leung also completing the 5 for the home team. Again, this is their first home game of the season. Talking about the Macau Black Bears and the Macau Wolf Warriors playing their first road game on the other side. Wolf Warriors, Black Bears rather on the attack first. This is Mike McKinney, leader of this team, one of the top scorers in the league, unleashing right away and nailing his first shot off the ball game.
That's a tough shot to start the game, but made it look so easy by McKinney. Stop on a dime, then turn to his left shoulder for the mini fade. That's going to be a tough matchup for the away team in the Wolf Warriors with the strong side in McKinney.
And that's been the big difference for the Wolf Warriors. Doug Herring, extra aggressive on the offensive end from the start. Doug Herring had 32 points in their win against the Fubon Braves. Now he is off to a fantastic start, a 3-point play opportunity right away.
Their biggest scoring game, I believe, he got into the 30s on that one for a player who averages about 20-21 points per ball game. Got into a nice rhythm and got that game and did everything basically. He rebounded, he scored, he rebounded, and he got his teammates involved and did it at an efficient level.
Both teams playing scrappy basketball so far. Stephen Thomas bouncing it to Herring from the right side, guarded by Liang. Stephen Thomas had a double-double in the previous game, working his way in against Edwards. A little wild on that shot.
A good job of defending without fouling was Edwards that time, forcing Thomas, who was trying to bully his way inside the paint, to force it over the top. That's all you can do, especially with a big dude like Steve Thomas.
And that's the shot you can live with. Talking about the Black Bears, Stephen Thomas making a post move like that. Jenning Leung sending this one to Mike McKinney. Double teamed right away. Edwards outside to Leung. He drives left. He stops, pops, and gets that one to drop.
Well, that was actually well defended by the defense overall of the Wolf Warriors. Was able to rotate on the ball screen and was able to recover. Leung made just a better play with that shot.
And Leung almost got it on the other side. Leung, one of the most improved players we have had so far in the league. McKinney ahead. Ooh, challenging Boyd. And that's going to be a foul on Julian Boyd.
A nice job right there to cut the angle off of Boyd. We're going to see right here, you see take away the middle. He looks to his left, and then he shows that he's going to finish with his right hand, which forces Boyd to go for the chase down right in the middle. And the presence of mind to switch it to his left, to use the rim as protection to get to the line eventually. Oh, what an outstanding player McKinney is.
Yeah, very tough to guard. Always a tough matchup for everyone in the league. Really.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone in the country.
That's right.
Any country for that matter here in the ABL.
Lethal scorer, Mike McKinney dropping in 2 free throws right there. 6-3 start for the home team. Stephen Thomas being pressured. Herring on the left wing, guarded by Mike McKinney. Herring looking to set the table here for the green shirts. They go to the middle. Stephen Thomas bulldozing his way in, no good, but a tip in right there for Julian Boyd.
The change-up defense that time from matchup to zone, and that's how you attack the zone. Get something inside, and even after a miss, attack the weakness of a zone, which was an offensive rebound, and they get the stop on the other end. They could take the lead for the first time here on this possession after that turnover they forced.
That's right. And this is the slow improvement for the Wolf Warriors in their first 4 games. You know, their consistency on both ends of the floor developing as we progress through the season here. Julian Boyd could not handle the rebound, but ball staying on their side of the court. They have 13 seconds to work with. Again, an opportunity to take the lead in this next possession. Fu sending this one to Boyd. Great matchup here. Boyd against Manigault, and Boyd breaks free. Nice move.
Not a good decision right there by Manigault. You want to stay in front of the chest, especially with Boyd having one personal foul, maybe force an offensive foul as he tried to pound his way in. But a terrific move nonetheless on the block by Boyd.
Liang a little bit out of control there. Manigault deflected by Boyd, and Boyd completes the steal. Wolf Warriors on the move. Here's the lob. Oh, Boyd going up high for that throwdown.
How about the elevation and the extension by the right hand and the touch also? That was a tough basket without dunking the basketball. As Manigault, I saw him shoot a lot of jumpers from the corner, hits his first one here in the game.
Oh, he can definitely hit that outside shot. Talking about Kenny Manigault. What a counter there by the Black Bears. Floater will not drop for Doug Herring. Mike McKinney handling the rock, bringing it downhill. Liang is open. Liang too strong. Edwards with the rebound. McKinney scores with the left.
So what a play by McKinney. He was the first to initiate that play with the ball screen up top. As it developed and his teammate took the shot, he was the first also to clean that one up.
And up and down basketball we're playing here as Ewing misses the shot. Who could not secure it? Here comes McKinney racing the other way. Mike with a look away.
Lifting.
Yeah. That's a violation. A turnover called against Mike McKinney. Let's take a look at this basket earlier. Boyd to Herring. And here's the lob. Julian Boyd just placing it inside the cup.
How about the play on both ends, forcing the turnover, giving it up to get it back, running the outside lane to finish with a nice touch. Baby dunk.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful baby dunk though.
That's right.
As he went up high.
Feathery touch on that dunk. And 11-9 is the count here. Black Bears on top by 2. Doug Herring guarded by Jennings Leung. Boyd facing up. Oh, good tap from behind. And here comes McKinney. Could not complete it. Picked up by Ewing. And the three-pointer drops for Scotty Ewing.
A terrific recovery by Ewing right there. Everybody was focused to sprint down from defense to offense by the white shirts. Ewing recovers, knocks it down.
Oh, it was open for a while in that sequence. Leung tries to answer. Too strong on the triple try. Herring is on the move. Doug Herring over halfway done here in the opening period. Herring against McKinney again. Herring backs down. Will challenge the defense of Mike. Tough shot for Doug. Too strong. Manigault with a board. Kenny.
Good pass.
To the corner. Leung. Too strong. Still cold from downtown. Edwards looking for the foul. No whistle. Scotty Ewing. Play continues. Oh, the takeaway by Mike. And he will break free on the other end. That's a free lane for Mike McKinney.
Sneaky steal and sneaky getaway by McKinney to get the easy deuce on the other end.
The steal and the score for Mike to give them back the lead, 13-12. Thomas, Ewing for 3. That one in and out. Took it from the opposite side this time. Manigault steps into a free. He knocks it down. Kenny Manigault.
Sorry about that, Martin. 3-point shooting so far, both teams getting 5 attempts. But the home team already knocking down 2 compared to the Warriors 1.
Oh, Stephen Thomas getting the offensive rebound. Sent it out to Scotty Ewing. Boyd got it back. Boyd bulldozing his way. And he will get fouled. Boyd.
Stepped on somebody right there.
Yeah.
Good to see him back up immediately.
Just shaking this one off. Let's take a look at the move here. Oh, yeah. It was his left foot on Kenny Manigault that time. So we got a timeout on the floor. A 4-point lead for the Black Bears, 60-12. Back to the ball game. It is 16-12 in favor of the home squad, the Macau Black Bears. This is one of the baskets they had earlier. Mike McKinney with a steal and a score. 3:21 remaining here in the opening period. And the Black Bears forcing the turnovers, getting the buckets, and also getting it done from downtown. Christian here in the early goings of the game, although Julian Boyd will step into the free throw line to take two.
Both teams actually playing well, both teams competing.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the Wolf Warriors with an early adjustment as they started out the game with a man-to-man D, but last two to three trips in the zone, but has taken advantage of that zone by attacking the glass against the zone of the Bears, excuse me.
That's right. And speaking of attacking the glass, Boyd got the rebound, but he could not put it back in. So he misses two. Ball goes back to the side of the white shirts. And a couple of changes in the personnel on the court for Coach Todd Purvis. It is Tang in, and also CC Tai Chen, one of the top locals in the league, finally in for the green shirts. McKinney,
what a hezzy.
Good dish. Brandon Edwards with a recovery.
What a play. How about the hesitation to get away by McKinney after the double drag? So do you consider that an assist for McKinney or an offensive rebound for Edwards? But the Wolf Warriors get it back with a three.
And that's a three-pointer coming from Tang, who just, again, entered the ball game earlier. Oh, what a feed! And Brandon Edwards with a two-hander. Liu Zihao with a nice find.
Perimeter defense, a concern so far for the Wolf Warriors, especially for the last two trips. Easy dribble penetration by their guards.
Yeah.
Nice dish for the same recipient in Edwards.
Two straight sequences for the Black Bears. Cross-court pass. Tai Chen puts it on the floor. Tai Chen, no good. Gets his own miss and cleans it up.
A nice play by Chen right there to trim this lead down to one possession back again. Down three are the Warriors.
McKinney from straightaway, too strong. Rebound goes to Herring. Ahead to Scotty. Ewing puts it on the deck. Tang, back to Ewing. Lefty floater is good. What a play for those two men.
He's not going to get any stat for it, but what a beautiful forward pass by Herring from backcourt to front court. Puts pressure on the D, and the two in Ewing and Tang unselfishly gives the ball up to each other.
But again, the counter has always been there for the Black Bears. That time it was Brandon Edwards knocking down the long two. Tug turns around, feeds Cici. Tai Chen takes the contact. He will be fouled on his way up. So Tai Chen will have a trip to the free throw line for two shots.
It's always a problem when you have somebody rolling to the basket, especially after giving a good screen. This was the drive and the dish by number 25.
That's Liu Zihao.
Liu. So the drive by McKinney, and then the drive by Liu, Zihao Liu, right there to finish, to give Edwards the finish.
And Tai Chen taking care of business at the free throw line. It is 21-22. So a close contest here in the opening frame. Manigault. Liu Zihao, he's got the touch. Not this time though. Herring. Tang will not challenge Kenny, instead goes back out to Herring. He's got Leung on him. Doug Herring with 12 seconds to work with. Doug on the cross, trying to shake off Jennings Leung. Floater, no good. Rebound goes to Manigault. Here is Kenny. Oh, good swipe from behind. What a poke from behind from Tang, although he could not complete it. Ball staying with the Black Bears here.
And the Wolf Warriors, the road team, you see his teammates loving it and appreciating the effort of Tang to stop that fast break.
Yeah, the burst of speed.
Good split.
McKinney moves in, no good. Edwards ends up with it. And that's going to be last touch on Scotty Ewing. So 21.8 remaining in the first quarter. 14 to work with for the Black Bears. Liu Zihao. McKinney back to Liu. He shoots it and he knocks it down.
I saw them before that play. McKinney apologizing for some reason to Liu. Must have missed it the play before that. And he made sure he would made up with that pick and pop play with the dime.
Last shot time. Ewing got the fake. Not enough time to get a shot off. Opted to go for the pass at the last second that time around. So we will end the first 10 minutes of play here inside Nanhai Gymnasium with the Black Bears off to a great start here, leading it by 4, 25-21. We'll be back for second quarter of this game in just a little bit. Back to the coverage. This is your ASEAN Basketball League Season 10, Rise to Greatness. Black Bears versus the Wolf Warriors here inside the Nanhai Gymnasium. You guys are joined by Martin Javier, Coach Christian Luanzon here in the coverage. And going into the second quarter, it is 25-21, care of the home team, the Macau Black Bears. Coach, what happened in the first quarter? It was very close. You know, both of these teams throwing runs at each other, but the Black Bears getting the upper hand at the end of the first 10 minutes of play.
Right, and the home team just shooting at an excellent clip, 62% compared to the 40. Actually, 40%. It's not so bad for the Wolf Warriors, but the Black Bears just getting inside the paint, and that's going to be tough for any team that plays the Black Bears. Anytime you have Mike McKinney leading that charge, we have yet to see his wing in Kenny Marigold because of the less touches, but here he is leading the charge to start the second quarter. But look at the assist department, Martin, also. They led that stat 7-4 also, as this is the one we were talking about, getting inside the paint, putting pressure at the rim. McKinney finishes that time straight to the hoop.
Mike McKinney is in double figures. He has 10 points. Counter steal could not be completed by Tang. Mike McKinney, couple of fakes. He is called for steps. So that's going to be a turnover for Mike McKinney. Ball goes back to the Wolf Warriors, 27-21. And Mike McKinney, earlier, you saw the frustration right after he took the layup. He felt like he got fouled. A lot of contact in that play, but no whistle, and that adds to his frustration. He was called for the travel.
Right. Ball was stripped from him. I'm not sure from our angle, but probably dragged that pivot foot a little bit to force the official for the call. A nice play for the first one here in the second quarter after the energy that Tang gave them in the first quarter, picking up where he left off with the first three here in this quarter for them.
How about Tang? A couple of three-pointers in his limited time so far on the court. Kenny Manigault feeding Huh. Huh losing it, but gets it back. He is up against Sai Chen. With a nice turn, Thomas secures the rebound.
2 stops right there by number 23, Kai. The first on the roll, and the stop for that shot. The second one stops it again, and they go back for this possession. Ewing for the corner shot.
That is off. Thomas gets the offensive rebound. That's the name of his game. And Scotty Ewing will not miss on the second try.
What's the saying? Try and try until you succeed.
That's right.
Ewing, in 5 attempts, his second make already.
He's got 8 points in total. McKinney, ooh! Hitting the neither right there is Mike McKinney.
What a beauty. What a beautiful player McKinney is, and what a beautiful move. That one worth another look. How about the contact to go to the chest of Ewing and still able to finish that basket?
Mike McKinney, he has 12 points, the only player in double figures so far. Count is 29-27, a 2-point lead for the Black Bears.
I think what's more impressive with McKinney, aside from the skill set that he brings, is really his conditioning.
Right.
Since the last season, you look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. He plays almost 40 minutes per game, but rarely do we see him huff and puff.
Right.
In a basketball game, it's almost like he's always in full speed.
Right. Correct. He always plays on that same pace. Mike McKinney.
Was that a pass to himself?
He got his own miss and the cleanup underneath by Tsai Chen. We are back at square one after that basket by Tsai. 29 all. 3 minutes gone here in the second frame. We'll be back after this. Back to the ball game, 29 all. And you're seeing the action here from the Macau Wolf Warriors. A strong start to their second quarter, Coach Christian. A couple of 3-pointers and a 2-pointer right there coming from Tsai Chen, allowing them to pull even with the Macau Black Bears here, 29 all.
After being down by 4 in 10 minutes of play, a little less than 4 minutes to start the second quarter, and they tie the ball game up. Let's see what the Black Bears have after a timeout. Pick and pop right there by Edwards over Stephen Thomas.
Yeah, that's a 3-pointer for Brandon Edwards. What a play off the timeout for Coach Charles Hantumacos. Edwards able to knock it down to give them back the lead. Here's that takeaway, well read by Jennings. Leung hasn't made a free yet, but he will draw the foul off the dribble right there, and this one will be called against Tang.
A good foul to stop the potential transition points right there, as the Black Bears have 4 fast break points already compared to the 2 of the Wolf Warriors.
Well, that's what you were talking about earlier. That's another drive from the Macau Black Bears. Manigault dishing it out. Liang from the corner. Off to the side. Thomas with the rebound. Here comes Herring. They're down by 3.
Good fake.
Tang high off the glass and in. How about Tang in this game?
It's always more difficult for the defense to close out in transition compared to the half court. Tang right there sets its feet, shows the ball up in the air with a pump fake, and makes a nice finish high off the glass as they force a turnover of the offensive foul. Who's this one called on? Edwards?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Brandon Edwards.
Look at the zip pass right here and the counter move. Tang has really worked hard, played hard on both ends, and has been solid for the Wolf Warriors.
And the shuffling of players for Coach Todd Purvis paying off so far, utilizing, you know, fresh faces on the court in Tang. And earlier it was who started the ball game. He's on the court right now, number 25, Julian Boyd, back in the game, shoots the three and knocks it down. Boyd gives them the lead, 34-32.
Jennings Leong got switched off after the double drag play right there by the Wolf Warriors. And Stephen Thomas, as he was trying to front the post, but because Boyd was out as the passer, his guy had to sag off a little bit. Boyd took advantage of the wide open shot, basically.
Yeah. So 34-32. All of a sudden, it is the Wolf Warriors in front. Macau Black Bears looking for answers. They've only scored 7 points here in the second frame. And Wolf Warriors, on the other hand, scoring 13 so far. Manigault got fouled on the drive. Kenny scores on the first. And one of the most explosive scorers we have in the league. The Black Bears initially got them for his defensive prowess, but Manigault providing them the offensive goods as well. That's Mike McKinney got teed up.
Had some words to say.
Yeah. All right, so McKinney gets called for the technical foul. Scotty Ewing will take it.
I'm assuming those are not pleasant
Yeah.
to the officials.
And Mike just shaking his head here.
Well, you mentioned Manigault right here on the line. And so far has 7 points before this free throw. Has 5 rebounds already. One of the better rebounders we have in the league for his size.
Right.
Averages about 8.2 per game.
And also a very explosive scorer, 24.2 points per game to lead his team. And that is big because they have Mike McKinney on this squad. Boyd with a two-handed hammer.
You talk about being big. That's a big-time play by the Wolf Warriors to break the press and come up with an easy deuce with a dunk by Boyd.
11 points for Julian Boyd. They're back in front by 3. Liang one dribble in. He drops it in.
Who said the mid-range is his lost art already? Nice pull-up right there with the one dribble.
Over 5 minutes gone. And Doug Herring unleashing from downtown as well.
Nice swoosh shot right there by Herring off the ball screen.
A great exchange of baskets in this stretch between these two teams. McKinney step back. Too strong. Ball ending up with Edwards. Liang. Hard screen given up by Edwards. Cross-court pass. Liang turns around. Couple of fakes. Tough shot. Too strong. Boyd secures it. And here comes Doug Herring bringing it downhill. A chance to extend their lead here. Doug on the cross. Kicks it out. Scotty for 3. Scotty knocks it down.
Had 2 guys to close out on it. No problem by Ewing, and a problem defensively by the Macau Black Bears. Anytime there's a ball screen, you want to send it towards the screen where the help is. Herring breaking down 2 white shirts and finding an open man in the corner in Ewing.
That's another three-pointer for Scotty Ewing. Liang turns the ball over, passing it to no one. And the Wolf Warriors starting to pick up steam here, Coach Christian. 3:37 remaining. They're up by 7 points. Let's take a look at this rack attack by Julian Boyd earlier. Again, both created by Doug Herring.
Right.
Another pass here to the corner. Scotty Ewing takes advantage.
And that was the ball screen that we saw. Edwards was ready to help from the middle, but because Herring negated the screen and went the other way, able to leave behind not only 1, but 2 white shirts.
Yeah. Manigault will try to answer, and Kenny, nothing but net on that try.
Well, that's a wow, not only because of the shot, but because of the catch and the momentum he had. He caught the ball with one hand with his right, set his feet with little space in the corner, and nothing but bottom for him.
Right. 10 seconds to work with for the Wolf Warriors. 6 seconds now. Boyd got away again on the post move.
And that's the second time already Hearing has gambled to go for the steal from behind. First one was on the right block. That time, the left side, Boyd. Same result.
Kenny tried to shake off the Herring defense. And foul will be called against Doug. So Manigault sending himself to the free throw line for a couple of shots. Black Bears badly needing some offense here. And Manigault so far keeping them afloat, preventing the Wolf Warriors, you know, to break away in this game.
Right.
Breaking away, rather.
It's also important if I'm, you know, the Black Bears, to put Stephen Thomas in ball screen situations defensively. That's because he already has 2 fouls. But still, obviously, Coach Todd Purbs, being his former coach with Indonesia, trusting him to stay in the game even though they have the lead.
Yeah.
Imagine if he picks up that next foul with 2 and 33. You're looking for him to sit out maybe the first 5 to 7 minutes of the third quarter, which could pay a lot of difference to the result of this game.
And that will also challenge the depth in terms of the front line of the Wolf Warriors. Thomas with a rejection right there, but that is a foul. Against who?
What foul are you talking about? He can still get up there and not only get a traditional block, but a spike.
And Stephen Thomas sending that back. McKinney got the rebound though and took the contact from who? Edwards, the face-up jumper.
Bailing out the defense of Thomas. Got to realize that even though he has that shot, he's got to be aggressive and put the ball on the deck and put pressure on Thomas's defense, just like this one that Hearing did.
And Doug Herring, been a while since he attacked and actually took the shot on the drive because he's been facilitating for his teammates in the previous plays. This time getting clipped by Mike McKinney, able to draw the foul in the process.
His second one also. Talk about Mike McKinney. So a little bit of foul trouble situation for the Black Bears. All 3 players in McKinney, Brandon, and Liang, 3 starters, have 2 fouls.
That's right. That's a development here for the Macau Black Bears. Wolf Warriors, let's see if they recognize the situation. Oh, there's going to be a foul, so Wolf Warriors already in the penalty. McKinney steps into the free throw line with only a few seconds gone on the game clock.
Right. Always a poor foul, especially when, you know, 2 things. The team is over the limit, which the Wolf Warriors are. And second thing, when the ball handler, like McKinney was about 60, 70 feet away from the basket.
So Mike McKinney missing on the first. 86.2% this season from the line. Drops in the second. Herring trying to get by Manigault. Ahead to Boyd. Ewing from the right wing. Ewing drops it in again. Wow.
His third in the game for 15 big points here in the first half. Both him and Boyd in double figures with 15 and 13 so far.
What a pickup here for the Wolf Warriors. Scotty Ewing leading the team with 15, as you mentioned. Laikatong out of control, turns the ball over. Ball goes back to their own team.
Caught twice as he made a nice drive, but when he picked the ball up, instead of going up strong, maybe for a mini floater right there, saw the presence of a big guy in Stephen Thomas. And Stephen Thomas, even though with the 2 fouls, able to get the stop on the strip right there.
That is it. The 38-year-old Stephen Thomas challenging. But Manigault here with good anticipation as well, although a miscommunication. Pass was too strong for Jennings Leong to handle. So a minute and 15 remaining in the first half. We got a good one as expected. An 8-point lead for the visiting Wolf Warriors. A timeout for Coach Charles.
Martin, turnovers right now, killing the Macau Black Bears. They already committed 12 turnovers that has turned into 13 big points on the other end for the Macau Wolf Warriors, while the Wolf Warriors only have 8 across their name. That's why they turned things around after being down in the first quarter by 4, now up by 8. Can they finish well to have a comfortable lead heading into the third, playing away from their floor?
That's right, that's going to be the challenge here. But this is the situation that they were in against the Fubon Braves. Getting manacled with a breakaway jam right there. The steal and the jam for Kenny in transition.
That's a big time play. Not only to trim the lead down, but to really stop the momentum that the Wolf Warriors has been building the last few minutes.
And I was on cue. We were just talking about the turnover count for both of these teams. Boyd, off the mark. And here comes Kenny.
2 for 1 maybe.
Manigault. Yeah, took the quick shot. That one rolling in and out.
Still a 2 for 1 for the other team right here.
Here's Doug. Herring all the way, no good. And Julian Boyd cleans it up.
A nice attack by Herring. He knew the clock situation, but anytime you attack in transition, as usually the safety are the smaller guards, well, a guy like Boyd who got the offensive rebound makes it easier for him.
So here we go. Last shot time for Mike McKinney. Puts it on the floor. Oh, lost it. Ewing picks it up, but not enough time for the Wolf Warriors to get a shot off. So after the first 20 minutes here inside the Nanhai Gymnasium, Wolf Warriors with the turnaround in the second frame. And they're actually discussing a couple of things here. Doug Herring clearing something up with our officials. But 52-44, a turnaround by the Wolf Warriors in that second frame to take the 8-point lead going into the break. We'll be back in a bit for highlights, numbers of this game here inside the Nanhai Gymnasium. We're back inside the Nanhai Gymnasium here in Foshan, China. First home game for the Macau Black Bears up against the Macau Wolf Warriors in this game. And you guys are joined by Martin Javier with Coach Christian Luanzon here in the coverage. It is an 8-point lead with moments away from the start of the second half here in Foshan, China. Coach Christian, Macau Black Bears, they were actually off to a great start in this game, leading it by 4 after the first quarter. But it was a different story, a completely different story come the second quarter when they were outscored by the Wolf Warriors 31-19. That allowed the visiting squad to take the lead and take the 8-point lead rather going into the third.
So they turned up their defense. We talked about it earlier. The amount of turnovers that they forced, 13 compared to only their 9, has translated into 13 turnover points. Also, we mentioned earlier the short rotation both teams have coming into this game. That could be a determining factor because so far, bench of the Wolf Warriors, they dominated that stat so far, 14-3, led by Tang Zi-King, who had 8, and Chen Kai, who had 6, which is all of the 14 points compared to only the 3 by Zi Hao Liu off of that pick and pop play way in the first quarter, if you remember, between him and McKinney.
That's right. So a key stat there again, the shuffling of players so far paying off for Coach Todd Purvis, and that allowed them to really, spark that second quarter attack to take the 8-point lead going into the second half against a very dangerous Macau Black Bears team. Now, if you're the Black Bears, what do you need to do now against the Wolf Warriors here in the second half? What's the priority now for Coach Charles?
I think they have to go to Edwards. Try to involve him into not only giving it straight to the post, but force Stephen Thomas to play defense, especially on ball screen situations. We mentioned that earlier, of him doing an excellent job.
Ooh, Kenny got up and almost got the jam.
Right. But going back to Stephen Thomas, wow. Well, even though it was an incomplete play.
Oh, you got to look at that again. Look at Kenny
Manigault. He jumped.
Oh, my goodness.
But Stephen Thomas doing an excellent job of managing his fouls. Played 18 minutes and was a presence inside. Did not score the basketball, but did a lot with his, quick hands. And forced the drivers of Macau, which they had a lot of dribble penetrations to start the game, to think twice eventually, which forced a lot of turnovers. But if you get Stephen Thomas out of the game, I think it would really help the offense of the Black Bears.
Stephen Thomas, we talk about his impact on the court as Doug Herring drops in the three-pointer to create the double-digit lead for the Wolf Warriors, their biggest in the ball game at 11, 55-44. Thomas hasn't scored.
Right.
He's got 0 points, but he has 8 rebounds and a block, and he is a +6 in the BPM category for the Wolf Warriors, having played a lot of minutes.
Right, and there he is again.
Yeah.
See, quick hands right there on the ball screen. So easier said than done, as that's what they were trying to do, but because of his experience around the world already in many different leagues, he's been there. And to your point, Martin, more importantly, aside from the 8 rebounds, that intimidating face he brings to the stage.
And this guy, Scotty Ewing, continues his hot shooting here in the second half. He's got 18 points to pace the green shirts.
So how about the start that Ewing had? He was 1 for 4 after the first quarter. Finished the half with 15 points on 4 of 8 shooting and has now 5 3-pointers. But on the other end, Manigault scores on the left corner.
That is Manigault's 4th 3-pointer of the game. He's 4 out of 5 from Rainbow Country. Doug against Stephen Thomas, and Thomas could not catch the pass as he was getting tangled up by against Brandon Edwards at the post. So ball going back to the Black Bears with an opportunity. Could be the opening they've been looking for to come back in this game. Kenny Manigault brings it down. Mike McKinney, blow by, foul on who? And
Ewing, I believe. Little pin down situation right there. Hugh, number 25. No, it was Hugh. That's his fourth.
Yeah. It's on him. So Tang Zi Kang will be forced to go on the court early here in the second half. Only over 2 minutes gone. Fourth personal foul on Hu Yue. Oh, McKinney high off the glass on that floater.
A nice touch right there. That's a tough finish, especially if you're going high off the glass.
15 markers now for Mike McKinney. And that's been the attack for the Black Bears here. 18 for Manigault, 15 for Mike. Tang behind the back dribble, trying to shake off Liang. Here's the blow by Boyd. Underneath, no good. Manigault off and running. Kenny on the move, difficult shot in transition. He banks it on.
Nice attack right there by Manigault. Even though he missed that shot, Edwards was rim running, could have cleaned it up, but nonetheless, Manigault having another big scoring night for him. He now has 20 points, the first player to the 20 mark in this game.
And the lead is down to 7. Doug Herring though with the answer. That's a cold-blooded three-pointer coming from Doug.
How about Herring? 14 points and is still perfect from downtown. Wow. 3 of 3.
And it really has improved that aspect of his game.
On top of that, 6 assists.
Yeah. High-low. And Brandon Edwards underneath, getting a couple of fakes against Julian Boyd. He gets fouled in that sequence. He heads to the line, taking 2.
Took advantage of the switch. Usually Thomas is the guy guarding him, but after the switch, Boyd just caught in a vulnerable position. It's really one of the toughest areas. No, excuse me, the toughest area to guard, really. The block, especially underneath the rim. Anytime the offensive player has his 2 feet right there, always tough to stop.
So Stephen Thomas replaced on the floor by Tsai Chen. And this is something the Black Bears could take advantage of. This type of situation, they could easily go to Brandon Edwards and get him involved on the offensive end.
And they could go to him not only straight to the post as the change of defense right now for the Black Bears, who played man-to-man in the first half. First time to zone, I believe. Right there, attacking the offensive glass immediately, similar to what the Black Bears did when the Warriors went to the zone. Attacked the offensive glass and cleaned it up. Open 3.
Boyd with 17, Edwards the kick out. They get the offensive rebound here. Second chance opportunity, and Manigault will be called for the offensive foul on that screen. So good action coming from Scotty Ewing as well.
Not happy with the call. Obviously, better be careful. He's been saying a lot to the official from half court all the way down to the base.
So the Wolf Warriors able to maintain their lead, 63-52. Almost halfway done here in the third quarter.
Here's that zone.
Doug Herring against Jenny Leung. They go to Tang. Tang, no good on the triple try. Edwards with a rebound. Leung pushing. Foul on Tang. That's going to be the 4th team foul on the Wolf Warriors. So one more will put them over the limit as Liu Zihao makes his way to the court, replacing Warren Liang. Is the open look earlier by Scotty Ewing, and then the stick back by Julian Boyd. Turnover for the Black Bears though.
How about Julian Boyd? 8 rebounds, 5 coming from the offensive glass.
Wow.
Usually it's the other way around. It's much harder to get offensive rebounds than defensive ones.
Boyd inside, finishes on the reverse.
That time moving well without the basketball on that zone. Saw the gap underneath. Nice find and finish for Boyd.
CC with a find. Leung still couldn't find the mark. He is 0 out of 3 from downtown. Taiten all the way to the cup, blowing by Liu.
Nice move by Taiten. showing that he has the ability to put the ball on the deck and finish with his offhand.
Yeah. And the Wolf Warriors compound on their lead. It is up to 50 now. Biggest of the game. Manigault drops it off to Edwards inside.
Nice, now the defense is forced into a decision. Next time they do that weak side is gonna drop. We'll leave McKinney, who is on the weak side, wide open. Let's see if they do more of that.
So here's Doug Herring. Massive improvement so far from the game of the Wolf Warriors. And that's gonna be a foul
Another
on
foul.
Kenny Manigault on the poke. So
Two
also
quick ones.
Yeah, 2 quick ones for
That's the one we were talking about. As soon as he got the first one on the illegal screen, had a lot to say with the official. Got a pass. This time after the second foul, had a lot to say. Will not get a pass as he was given a tech.
so 67-54. 4:22 remaining. Wolf Warriors on top. Four and 22 to go here in the third quarter. It is the Wolf Warriors visiting squad ahead by 13 big points. Here's the poke by Kenny Manigault earlier. And then right after, got teed up, I believe. So Scotty Ewing steps into the free throw line to take it. And that counts 68-54. Both teams with 14 fouls.
I'll say this though, Manigault has a case.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of technical fouls as a coach that sometimes you shrug off because that looked clean to me.
That's right. But wasn't called still for the Black Bears. Manigault, drops in the triple. And that's how you respond on the previous play. A 3-pointer to trim the lead to 11.
He wasn't the initial one wide open in that play into the drive by McKinney, but Manigault just doing an excellent job of getting to the open spot.
Ooh.
Talk about Ewing getting to the open spot, misses a gimme.
He got away by the baseline, just couldn't finish.
Pass.
Liu Zihao, too strong. McKinney over to Manigault on top. Kenny on the drive. Kenny bumps into Boyd. And that's going to be an offensive foul called against Kenny Manigault to the dismay of the Black Bears bench.
Right, especially Kenny Manigault. We're going to take a look once again right here. That's a good call to me.
Yeah.
Because Boyd was right there first, and I thought was in legal position.
Yeah.
Give credit also to their defense, not only because of the charge by Boyd, but it came off an offensive rebound. They tried the kick-out three to McKinney, which is really the hardest three to guard.
Yeah.
But all dark shirts were right there to cover that and force the turnover eventually.
That's right, Wolf Warriors locking up defensively. Herring loses control though. McKinney over to Manigault. No. Boyd with the rebound.
Nice rebound by Boyd right there using his body.
Ooh,
Ooh.
hard fall by Scotty Ewing.
And no foul called.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
And Mike McKinney just calmly steps into a free. And that's an open look. He knocks it down. An 8-point lead held by the Wolf Warriors.
But at the very least, call something.
Yeah.
That's something that should have been called. At least maybe an offensive foul, maybe
Right.
a personal foul. but certainly not a no call.
That's a tough fall by Scotty Ewing, but Sai Chen converts on their side. Leung underneath. Edwards with a conversion.
His second basket in this quarter right after Stephen Thomas goes out. Ironically, when Stephen Thomas, on the other hand, went out, that's when the Wolf Warriors built their biggest lead of 15. But here he is to the sidelines as Herring right there with the sidestep. Great read by McKinney. That's a hard foul to get defensively, especially when the player goes for the sidestep.
Oh, yeah.
This was the call right here. You gotta give the offensive player the jumper landing space.
Correct.
A spot to drop.
We are Macau Black Bears.
Tough non-call there by Scotty Ewing. So play continues. 2 minutes remaining in the third. Liu Zihao left open. Couldn't take advantage.
Great defense both by Thomas, who took away the drive, and the recovery to take away the shot by Ewing to force McKinney with the pass.
Scotty. Thomas against Leung. Ooh,
pulling the chair.
That's right. Leung pulled the chair on Thomas that time around.
Well, how about the strength McKinney showed right there, pulling up the big dude and Stephen Thomas.
That's not easy. That's not easy. One of the strongest players we have in the league. And 62-70. A minute and 38 left in the third.
Defense.
A lot of color developing here in the third quarter. Scotty catch and shoot, short. Ooh, Tang will be whistled for the foul as he went for the basketball.
Even though Ewing had a little bit of opening on that shot, I think the difference was it was on the move compared to the shots prior in the first half where he was spotted up.
That's right.
Shooting two on the line is Jennings.
So Scotty Ewing getting into a dry spell, and Jennings Leung has been struggling from the field tonight. Could find this rhythm, could get it back here in this trip. He is 1 out of 5 from the field. 3 points. Hasn't made a three-pointer yet, which is what he is known for. Averaging about 15 points per game this season. Let's see if he can pick it up after that trip. But 2 for 2 coming from Jennings Leung to cut the lead down to 6.
23 points in the last game, 6 of 10 from downtown.
And now the Wolf Warriors are firing blanks from Rainbow Country. McKinney, Edwards for 3. Edwards knocks it down. We have a 1-possession game.
And that's the way to eliminate the defense of Stephen Thomas, not only with the use of the pick and roll, but with the pick and pop, where you put Stephen Thomas in a tough position to guard the...
Oh, the takeaway by Liu. And then he is wide open on the other end. 1-point game, 69-70. What a fight back here for the home team. The Black Bears are within 1. Let's take a look at this takeaway by Liu Zihao, racing to the other end, and it just lays it up and in. 69-70 is the count. We'll be back after this. Under a minute remaining in the third quarter, and what was once a 15-point advantage held by the Wolf Warriors has been sliced to just a point by the Macau Black Bears here in the third quarter. Black Bears outscoring the Wolf Warriors 25-18 here in the third quarter alone, Coach Christian.
And that was a quick slice because they built that lead also in the same quarter, in this quarter, to start this quarter. And good answer, especially if you're playing first time here for the Macau Black Bears. You always want to get a good first win on your home floor.
That's right. Home opener here for the Black Bears so far. They're facing adversity as they have been down ever since that second quarter we had, but Sai Chen will be called for the personal. Mike McKinney goes around the defense that time, and the Black Bears get the stop off the timeout as well.
And for those who just tuned in, Macau Black Bears 3-3, all 6 games on the road, first home game. And for the Wolf Warriors, this is their first away game.
That's right.
At 1-3. So obviously, Macau, come to think of it, you would say they would have the advantage of, in terms of, you know,
Black Bears, you mean?
Sorry, yeah, the Black Bears. Yeah, both teams are Macau. Yeah, the Black Bears, because of the number of games they have already.
That's right.
Their 7th game in this one, only the 5th for the Wolf Warriors. But still a challenge given to them by the Wolf Warriors thus far.
Oh, a massive one here. McKinney strangely unable to convert from the free throw line. That's going to be a foul away from the ball.
Offensive foul.
Yeah. So an offensive foul against the Wolf Warriors. A turnover. A miss earlier and now a turnover.
I believe it was a hooking foul by Tai as he tried to seal off Lai underneath for the high-low play.
So that will open the window for the Black Bears here. An opportunity to take the lead in the final possession of the third quarter, possibly. So Manigot carrying, talking to our Thai official, Brida Mongmi. And there's Mike McKinney bringing this one downhill. He is up against the smaller Scotty Ewing. McKinney. He's up against Thomas. Liu Zihao puts it on the floor. One dribble in. Pull-up jumper will roll out. And that's how we will end the third quarter of action here inside the Nanhai Gymnasium. The Black Bears make a run in that third quarter, and they've cut the lead down to 169-70 against the Macau Wolf Warriors as we go to the fourth and final frame of this game. Moments away from the start of the fourth period, and we're back here inside the Nanhai Gymnasium, continuing our coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10, Rise to Greatness, 1-point game, heading into the final frame. Should be an exciting quarter for all of the basketball fans watching right now. You guys are joined by Martin Javier, Coach Christian Luanzon, helping me break this game down. Coach Christian, third quarter, belonged to the Black Bears,
Right.
although Wolf Warriors had a faster start because they were able to create their biggest lead in that quarter, 67-52. The Black Bears, you know, in a small amount of time, they were able to get a lot of points in, and now they're just down by a point.
Which puts this game almost back to square one. Wolf Warriors only up by a point to start the fourth. +4 with a terrific start was the home team in the Black Bears in the first quarter. And then -12 in the second quarter. A huge 31-point quarter by the road team in the Wolf Warriors. But then again, the last 5 minutes, as the slow start you mentioned, by the home team in the first 5 minutes of the third, allowing themselves to come back, force some turnovers, and get themselves back in the game to be +7, 25-18, for us to be now 70-69, and to be down by 1 is the Black Bears.
And that's why you can't press the brakes against this Black Bears team, because they've got McKinney, they got Manigault, they got Edwards, who can really light it up in terms of scoring for their squad. Lai Katong getting fouled on the drive by Tsai Chen. So hand check called against Tsai Chen that time. There was a poke. And 2 quick fouls off the bat.
Leave the screen.
Yeah, offensive foul called against Lai Katong. So a turnover now for the Black Bears.
So that's why it's important for defensive players to always either fight over or fight through screens. That's because you put yourself in a position for the officials to make a call, especially if the offensive screener does something a little extra.
That's right. And that time they were successful. Lai Katong called for the turnover. Scotty Ewing driving, lefty floater, in and out. But
Nice.
the tip in by Hu inside.
What a play right there. That was a tough angle to get the rebound, but still was able to elevate and tip it in, not only with one, but 2 hands. McKinney with a 3. Stephen Thomas not liking the foul right there, as McKinney would get to the line for 3 freebies. He's hearing it.
Oh, Thomas got teed up.
Right. If he did, that's his 5th.
Ooh.
Because the foul was his 4th.
Yeah.
The technical will be his 5th.
Yeah.
What a big development in just a matter of seconds for the big guy in Stephen Thomas.
A double black eye for the Wolf Warriors here. Let's take a look at the play. Yeah, he got a piece of Mike McKinney's arm on that closeout, and Stephen Thomas called for the tech right after. So he will foul out of this game.
Right. And that's just after we complimented him.
Right. Preserving
in the
himself.
first 25 minutes of this game. We're only having 2 fouls. He had 2 fouls already in the second quarter.
Right.
And then he fouls out the first few minutes of the fourth quarter.
Wow. So Stephen Thomas done for the night. Did not score. 8 rebounds though across his name, and a rejection earlier. 25 minutes of play for Stephen Thomas. So Wolf Warriors will have to go a little bit small from the rest, or for the last rather, 8 minutes and 38 seconds of this game, as Mike McKinney continues to struggle from the free throw line. 71-72 as the count.
So you can expect that paint battle to increase for the Black Bears, because they are down right now 30-26. And part of that, obviously, our big part rather, is because Stephen Thomas is out. It opens up more drives, especially the secondary defenders, smaller secondary defenders outside of Thomas.
But Tsai Chen can stretch the floor. Oh, Hu taking the rebound away from McKinney. Tsai Chen drawing a lot of defenders on his way to the hoop. And that time he will be fouled, taking 2 in just a little bit. It's Tsai Chen. But interestingly, as we take a look at this replay, here's the fine Tsai Chen, crowded by 3 defenders there. We also mentioned earlier that the Wolf Warriors were able to build their biggest lead at 15 points when Stephen Thomas
Went to the bench.
out.
Yeah.
When he was replaced by Tsai Chen. So that's something we should watch out for here. If that's going to be the same case the rest of the way in this game. 73-72. 1 out of 2 for Tsai Chen. Mike McKinney. McKinney against Boyd. Nice find! And Boyd, Huyue rather, forced to give up a foul underneath.
Edwards could have had a finish right here, but he put the ball down. If he put the ball up as soon as he got the catch over his head for a mini reverse, excuse me, and then he could have avoided that foul. This could turn out to be a good foul, especially if it's a split on the line.
So Brandon Edwards expect this guy to get more involved on the offensive end with Stephen Thomas already fouling out. So you're right. On cue again. Brandon Edwards missing on the first.
And Edwards, so far in tonight's game,
he misses 2.
has 17 points and 9 boards, and is 2 of 3 from the line.
Yeah, he misses 2 there.
Sorry, 1 of 3.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 now. Tsai Chen. Boyd, hand in his face, short on the jumper. Edwards with the rebound. Here comes Mike McKinney. Black Bears with another opportunity to grab the lead. Yuzi How, nothing but net. And they're back in front by 2, 75-73.
That is as basic as you will get with the pass that McKinney made from the left side of the backcourt all the way to the right side of the front court with that zipper of a chest pass.
Doug Herring. Tsai Chen, open look. No good. Lai Katong could not secure it. He throws it away. Chen picks it up. The spin rejected by Edwards.
He should get 2 blocks for that one. What a swat. Another pass.
Oh, McKinney again to Edwards underneath. And the Black Bears will create this 4-point lead, 77-73. Action picking up here in the 4th quarter. We got a timeout on the floor called by Coach Todd Purvis. They're down by 4 here on the road. .07 remaining here in the 4th period. You guys are still catching the action here in the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10 inside the Nanhai Gymnasium for the first time this season. And first home game for the Macau Black Bears. They're up by 4 right now, 77-73. So carrying the momentum that they created towards the end of that 3rd quarter, Coach Christian, compounded by Stephen Thomas fouling out in this game. They grabbed the 4-point lead, and they're looking good right now because they have the momentum.
Especially when you get stops and go back on the other end quickly with your big guy leading the charge with a rim run. In Edwards' high-low play, a foul will be called on Lai right here. And the difference between the finish of Edwards, aside from being in transition, was that he didn't put the ball down as soon as he caught it above his chest, as he had a smaller guy on him, went up quickly to prevent the foul or maybe the strip compared to the first one prior to that.
That's right. And now the Wolf Warriors are looking for Julian Boyd. Scotty Ewing bouncing it to Tsai Chen. Chen has to shoot it, no good. And rebound goes to McKinney. Mike to the corner. Jennings Leung puts it on the floor. Pass to Edwards, deflected, stolen away by Doug Herring, and this is going to be an unsportsmanlike foul.
The poor decision right there on the drive by Liu, as I thought he had Lai on the bailout corner for a shot. He forced the pass in the middle to Edwards, who had 3 guys on him, led to a turnover, and this unsportsmanlike foul. Herring makes the first one.
And this is the ultimate momentum breaker for the Macau Black Bears. Suzy How committing the unsportsmanlike foul, allowing 2 free throws here from Doug Herring, and then the possession right after.
So they could take the lead in a matter of seconds in just 1 possession.
That's right.
Because of the free throws plus ball possession rule by the unsportsmanlike.
6.5 left. Let's see if the Wolf Warriors can take advantage. It is Doug Herring setting the table, as per usual. Doug driving, Doug dishing it out, and that's going to be a turnover. So the Macau Black Bears dodging a bullet in that sequence.
But give credit also to Coach Charles Pantumacos for giving his defense a different look in the second half. That matchup zone has really paid dividends.
Oh, Julian Boyd with a steal and a jam on the other end.
His 3rd dunk basically of this game. Well, the first one was a baby dunk, but that one, nice steal. What a time to come for the easy 2 in transition. Lai.
Olaika Tong off to the right. Scotty Ewing with a board, gets it to Boyd immediately. Herring. They don't have the numbers, so it will reset the offense. Herring. To Scotty. Tang driving. Oh, what a pass inside! And back-to-back jams coming from Julian Boyd.
Just when we complimented their defense, a little confusion created that time. One player was matching up from zone to man. The others were not. Open shot underneath.
And the Macau Wolf Warriors with a counter-attack here in the midst of a 6-0 run to take the 2-point lead. (79-77). Wolf Warriors take back the lead, courtesy of that 6-0 counter-attack here in the 4th period. And Black Bears will look to tie it up or take the lead in this next sequence with a 3-pointer, Coach Christian.
How about Stephen Thomas, even though he's fouled out and on the sidelines,
Yeah.
still giving the officials a look to remember. And we mentioned that earlier. He doesn't only bring his presence on the floor, add to that plus intimidation because of his intensity.
For not just the players on the court, for everybody.
On and off the court.
That's right.
And that's what he brings to this team. That's what, his form of leadership is really his game face, on and off the court.
And if you have that kind of teammate on your team.
And experience.
Yeah, an experience, or player rather, an experience on your team.
Yeah. It lifts you up.
That's right.
It lifts everybody up.
And the Wolf Warriors right now up by 1. McKinney on the split, and Doug Herring kisses that one off the glass.
And can't be happy with your transition defense. Off the inbound of the other end, hearing a little bit of hang time off the wrong leg. Finishes nicely.
81-78. High-low, Brandon Edwards.
Great help.
Tang with the poke from the help side.
Tang has been really good. Really good in this game with his presence on both ends. He has a couple highlights offensively, but has done more damage defensively with those strips and the rotation on D.
Yeah. 81-78. Those are the intangibles provided by Tang Ji Kang off the bench of the Wolf Warriors. Mike McKinney. Oh, pass deflected by Scotty Ewing. Here comes Doug Herring. Tang, no. Tip in, no good. And a couple of chances wasted there as Mike McKinney with a touchdown on their side of the court.
4-point swing right there of what you thought after the stop by the green shirts. Attacks on the other end. Missed by Tang. And then white shirts get it back. McKinney with the finish.
1 point game again. Doug Herring.
Nice move.
He's got Liu Zihao on him. He will take advantage. Takes the shot, drawing the foul on Liu.
I would have gotten up on my seat if we made that.
Yeah.
I was behind the backboard as he tried to. We look at this maneuver. Right, it was a between the legs move,
Right.
which allowed the drive. You see the bump. And right there, trying to shoot over the backboard. Nonetheless, 2 free throws. Herring in this game. His 19th point, still perfect from downtown. Has 6 boards, 7 assists,
Right.
but has 8 of the 17 turnovers of the Wolf Warriors. But if they come up with a win,
Yeah.
the coach is just gonna not see that,
That's right.
even if he does.
Shove it aside.
If you know what I mean.
And he is also perfect from the line, 7 out of 7 after that trip. Mike McKinney floats it up and in. McKinney with the counter basket on their side. Doug Herring for 3. He knocks it down. Oh, Doug Herring starting to take over.
Just no conscience with that shot. Had Ewing open to his left. 2 guys on him in that zone, but nobody picked him up straight. McKinney trying to answer back. They get the stop. Herring right now.
Good bother by Ewing. Ewing for 3. No. Side Chen with a board. Poked away by Jennings Leung. He does not have the numbers, but he will be fouled while he was running with a basketball. Tang will be called for this one.
Would have been a big one if the Wolf Warriors was able to make the basket, creating a little bit of momentum, but instead, the strip by McKinney
Yeah.
that leads to Jennings for these 2 free throws.
So Jennings Leung hasn't gotten his rhythm in this game. He only has 5 points. Again, averaging over 15 points a game in his 2nd season here in the ABL.
And showing that he is in shape also, as he has not seen, not even for a second, the bench, along with McKinney, has played all of his 36 and 32 seconds so far in this game.
Tsai Chen carving space and banks that one home against Lai Katong.
You like the patience showed by Tai Tien, not only in that move, but really in this game. Always poised in the paint. McKinney misses.
Short on the triple try. Doug Herring. Oh, the steal by Mike. McKinney over to Leung. Manigault for 3. Ooh, in and out. Lai Katong with the offensive rebound. Good steal by Julian Boyd.
I thought he had a chance for a stick back. I believe he had Ewing behind him.
Wolf Warriors get it back though. Sai Chen. Doug Herring now on the right side. Doug over to Tai. Shoots it, no good. Boyd with the offensive rebound. And again, you talk about the activity of Julian Boyd on the offensive glass. That time getting a big one over Lai Katong. Look at this rebound. And then he sends himself to the free throw line with the Black Bears already over the limit.
And just like that, he has 14 boards already. When he had 8 boards earlier, we mentioned, I believe, early in the 3rd quarter. 5 coming from the offensive glass. It's still 5 from the offensive end, but he does have 9 offensive rebounds already.
Wow.
After only having 3 defensive boards in the third quarter.
Look at that, Julian Boyd, former teammate of Jason Brickman when they were in college in LIU Brooklyn, dropping in 2 free throws. So 90-84, Boyd has 25. Manigault straight to the cup. Ooh, a sorry miss, but the tip in by Lai Katong.
Oh, a technical was called. And if this is on Manigault, he's out of the game.
Yeah.
If.
Technical foul is called on Macau Black Bears number 3, Kenny Manigault, for delaying the game.
It is on him.
It is. Well,
Kenny Manigault,
that's his 5th foul, first of all.
So
But
either way,
yeah,
he
he's
exits
going
the
out.
game.
Yeah.
86-90, and that was right after they made the basket, Coach Christian.
Right. I wonder what happened.
Wow.
That's worth another
91-86.
look to me. We didn't see that much because it was on the other side of the floor from where we are sitting. But nonetheless, Wolf Warriors has a chance to make this a 3-possession ball game, just hitting the 2-minute mark.
Tang entering the final 2 minutes of this game. Ewing, no.
What a
Boyd.
rebound!
Another offensive rebound for Julian Boyd. Boyd for 3. Too strong. Edwards finally securing possession, but he loses it.
How about the play created by Tang once again? We talked about his brilliance, his energy on the defensive end, that time giving them an extra possession after the steal. Walk.
Yeah, but he is called for the travel. So, ball going back to the side of the Black Bears. This is only a 5-point game with a lot of basketball to be played. 1 minute and 35 left in this game. We've got a timeout on the floor. Back after this. $86-91, a 5-point game with 1 minute and 35 remaining. And the Black Bears will have it. An opportunity to make it close here at home. Again, this is their first game at home. They don't want to end it on a disappointing note, Coach Christian. Let's see. Coach Charles Antomaco still talking to our tie referee. Okay, play will continue. 1 minute and a half left. Liu Zihao. McKinney from the top of the key. Short. And Julian Boyd got the rebound. They no need to rush. Time is on their side.
Beautiful design play of a timeout. A little UCLA staggered screen for McKinney. Gets a clean look. That's a shot he usually makes. He's been struggling from downtown. And this one has Boyd with a little fade away. But who's there? Tang with the offensive rebound.
Tang Chi Keng coming out of nowhere to get that rebound. Boyd carving space, rolling out.
Loose ball foul.
Yeah, that's going to be on tie 10.
That also means they're going to walk. They're going to walk rather 95 feet all the way to the other end. Good defense by Edwards right here after the up and under move, but that effort to close the gap on the second move was enough to stop the shot by Boyd. Could have had an open look, but instead they get the stop, but they don't capitalize. So Lai misses the first one.
Lai Katong with a big miss from the free throw line. Pressure-packed situation, of course. They're down by 5 with 48.2 seconds remaining. 0 out of 2. And Julian Boyd grabs the rebound, gets the foul on Lai Katong. And 2 free throws with only a second leaving the clock in that sequence.
25 points, 17 big rebounds, not to mention a big offensive rebound, couple sequence back, and a big defensive rebound to get to the line right now.
Julian Boyd, a big game here. Got the championship in the Icelandic tournament that he was able to join in the previous year. Also got the MVP award there. And that's what he is carrying to this Wolf Warriors program, that winning mentality. Right now, they are about to create their first winning streak of the season if they hold on.
Only a 2-possession game. Edwards, nice challenge. I believe that was partially blocked by Boyd.
Yeah.
That's worth another look, but nonetheless, whether it's a block or not, the effort.
Well, that's a winning play.
Big time winning play.
Yeah.
A lot of players talk about winning. Only a few really show how to win. And Boyd certainly demonstrating that on the defensive end.
92-86, Doug Herring. Looking for the final touches of this game. Doug Herring is perfect from the free throw line, 8 out of 8. I hope I don't jinx that though.
Well, they're on their way for a win on this one, and you have to be impressed
Right.
with Coach Todd Purbs and his squad, because they were shorthanded by 1 import as Stephen Thomas fouled out at the 8-minute mark of this quarter.
Ooh.
A poor foul, trying to prove us otherwise, maybe.
Yeah.
That's,
This
I
game,
think that's on the 3.
game is not yet done. Tai Chen will foul out. So Jennings Leung
Saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Tai Tian in Chinese. Goodbye.
stepping into the free throw line is Jennings Leung here. He's got 3 free throws coming up. But first we head to a quick break. Wolf Warriors ahead by 7 with 17 seconds left in the game. .2 seconds remaining. Jennings Leung. All important free throws coming up. Tai Chen whistled for his 5th personal foul. He is done for the night. Leung will have to make all of these free throws.
I just have to say, he looks like my former teammate. Talk about Ewing. Former ABL import.
Oh.
Gabe Freeman. Who was an outstanding import.
Yeah.
Played for the Patriots, also played for the San Miguel team,
Yeah.
the Beerman team.
So a couple of shots in for Jennings Leung. 3 for 3. There you go, 4-point game. Pressure D. applied by the Black Bears. They immediately fouled Doug Herring, though.
So that was only 2 free throws. So 3, sorry.
Number 4, Chattanooga, penalty is first foul.
3 free throws, as it was 86 to 93 earlier. Now it's 89 to 93, but they fouled Doug Herring, though. So Herring, who missed his last free throw, will head to the line for a couple of shots again.
No, that's your fault.
Yeah, that's
Two-ball shots.
probably is.
Doug Herring.
Could be. So let's see. Herring calmly makes the first. Makes it a 5-point game.
But the way he moves and the way he plays really reminds me of a Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
Of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah. Or is Mike McKinney. They need a quick basket, though. Edwards with a conversion. 1 possession game again. Black Bears need a steal. They need a steal or they need to foul.
Oh,
And let's see. Oh, they get the steal. Yuzi Hao with a second left. Yuzi Hao, no! And they had an opportunity there. They got the steal, but Yuzi Hao could not convert on the heave. So the Wolf Warriors,
they'll take this one.
yeah, will create their first winning streak of the season as they get the second victory, 94-91, after surviving the Macau Black Bears here on the road.
Would have counted.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the Wolf Warriors, Coach Todd, as you mentioned, 2-game winning streak after 0 for 3,
Yeah.
bowing down their first 3 games of the season, winning their last 2, including this one.
And getting a confidence-boosting win on the road. First road game, first road win for Coach Todd Purvis and the rest of his boys against the Black Bears. Final score here, Macau Black Bears 91, Wolf Warriors 94 in the Battle of Macau Part 2. Coach Christian, final thoughts on this game, especially with how the Wolf Warriors succeeded in taking this win on the road.
You gotta love the grit that they showed, playing away from their home floor for the first time and playing short-handed, 1 import down with Stephen Thomas fouling out early to start the 4th quarter, and still being able to build a sizable lead of somewhat for them to be enough to get out this win by 3.
It was a game of runs, it was a game of quarters from both sides here, but in the end, it is the Macau Wolf Warriors taking the 3-point win against the Black Bears, 94-91. And on behalf of the entire broadcast team, my name is Morgan Javier, alongside Coach Christian Luanzon, saying thank you and good night. See you guys next time for the next game in the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10.
Kelvin go right there. Another block by Kelvin.
Wide open is Regulus. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire. Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the